Okay, so esteemed audience is listening. They know that there's only 5 spots, so don't be number 6. They're very excited to get in your inbox once you're open for queries. They're going to send you a query plus 20 pages. When you go to look at that query, what's going to turn your head? What are you most looking to see?
What I love, what I think is my kind of the thing that I love the most, or what really sucks me into a story, is falling in love with a character, and feeling who that character is, feeling like I am really connected to them, invested in them, and caring about what's happening to them. I really want that to happen in those first 20 pages that are in the query. It even starts in the query letter itself. And there's a lot of information out there on writing queries. I don't know that we want to get into that, but I think people can get intimidated by the process, and it can feel hard. And it is hard. But I also think that the key thing in the query is to get across the character and their conflict, their problem. So it even starts within the query itself. So that's really, for me, the big important thing. Voice is also really important. I am not always looking for the showiest voice. I love a strong voice. That's very exciting to me. But I really want the voice to just be deeply connected to the character. And given your character, the voice might be not chock full of metaphor or, incredibly rich. It just depends. And I really want it to be deeply tied into who that character is. So that's kind of the very first important thing. And the next thing is plot and story. I want something exciting to happen. I have always loved, and I love a strong plot, and I want to find out what's going to happen next. I've always been a reader for that, and I still am. So those two things are what I'm really looking for. And I think too, feeling like this is a writer who is in command of their material. They are giving me that feeling of authority in the writing. That is also just a great feeling. In terms of things like what kind of genre or, particular settings or story ideas, I'm really totally open. There isn't anything. I'm not, let's see, I'm not a person who totally loves animal books, like animal characters talking at like the mid-novel in a novel. That's not something I usually am drawn to, but never say never. So I'm really totally open. I want to be moved, and I want to be connected to the character. That's what I'm really looking for. Oh, and I also say I like to be surprised. I mean, I don't mean like, oh my God, but like something that feels just a little surprising is a really, really good element to have too. So.
Dear Susan Hawk, I saw you recently on the Middle Grade Ninja podcast. You made the following brilliant points that connected with me. Let me tell you about my Selkie book in Russia. And then you want to know a little bit about the author, I assume.
Yes.
What kind of info, or do you just go straight to that? Because you've got 20 pages.
No, I read the query. I read the query and then I read the pages. The query is important. I mean, again, like I think people get freaked out about the query. And I don't think people should be freaked out about the query, because I think that there's so much material on the internet about how to put a good one together that I think, if you dig in, you will find ample help in doing that. But it's important because here's what I love to see at the top of a query. And it doesn't have to be like this. It is particularly helpful for me if it is the first couple of lines say, here is my book XYZ, 45,000 words long. Give me the word count. Tell me what comparison titles what books you think are related to yours in some way. That might be a good way to shorthand to me, oh, this is a book that's kind of like this one and kind of like that one. It doesn't always, the comp titles don't always have to actually be books. It could be a movie, it could be a show, it could be something else, but at least one kid's book. That's incredibly helpful to me because right away, it sort of positions me on the map of children's literature. Oh, I'm on the continent of middle grade. I'm in this town of fantasy. Like I instantly know where I am when people make good comparisons, and having the word count is helpful in terms of just understanding, like, right, okay, so this isn't a 200,000 word middle grade novel, which is probably a sign that there's a problem. So that information,
Those
right?
boundaries, 250,000 words is the bare minimum. I could tell my story. Push the boundaries and dark and edgy.
Well, that's probably true for something. But I think for me, that kind of information right up front is really helpful to have, because it positions the book. And so that's what the query letter is for. It's sort of putting me in the, giving me a little preview and getting my brain in the right spot to receive the pages. And then I read the pages. They're both important to me. At the end of the day, though, what really matters are the pages. If the query is like not quite hitting it right, but I fell in love with the pages, that's all I need to know.